Maggie.
And one fish, two fish, and one fish, two fish, and one fish, two fish, and a red fish, blue fish, and a red fish, blue fish, and a red fish, blue fish. That's probably going to be okay. Except now I slouched down into the thing again. Except now I slouched down into the thing. I really do need a new chair. I really do need a new chair. Really do need a new chair. Hum. What are we doing? Substance. We're doing texturing. What are we doing? Substance. We're doing texturing. But first, we're going to check YouTube. I think YouTube is good. Dang, YouTube is always so far behind on the latency when I click back over. Dang, YouTube is always so far behind on the latency when I click back over. Hello, Charles. Happy National Cheesesteak Day. Texturing. We've got the wrestling outfit set up for Substance, so we're going to work on that. Also, I'm going to get the Pulp Safari, the other Pulp Safari outfit. I'm making progress on that as well. Currently, we've got our boots, we got our sock tops, we got our shorts, we got our shirt. We're going to need a pith helmet. And I don't know, I might add a canteen and maybe a compass. We'll see how I'm feeling. I'm going to tentatively plan for those maybe Saturday, maybe Thursday. We'll see how it goes for prop making. The hat I'll probably knock out before then. Anyhow, let's get this exported out so we can texture it up a little better. Do I want to do the boots with the rest of it? The socks, the shorts, and the shirt should all fit on the same map. The boots, I think, you know what? We'll do the boots are going to only have 4 colors. So the boots are only going to come in black and white because we always do black and white, and we'll do like a brown and a tan. I think we'll do that. Do I need an olive? Is an olive an No, I think I'm going to limit myself to 4. We'll keep it simple. And the outfit, I mean black and white, brown, tan, or khaki. Maybe we do some other colors to go with it. Maybe a red, maybe a green olive, red, green olive, blue, and pink. So that would be what, 8? 8 for that, 4 for these. Socks will just be the same colors or whatever these are, but with a socky pattern. Although we'll mostly just use the white. But you'll have the options. So I'm going to have a map file that'll apply the socks, the shorts, and the shirt together, and then separate map files for the boots, and props will get their own map files. Although if I'm clever, I have the hat done. No, I don't have the hat done. If I can do that, maybe I can. Well, I'm going to get the hat done, but I think other props, canteen, and maybe a compass. We can do those together, and maybe you could put those on the same map as the hat. Maybe I don't know. I haven't decided. Anyhow, let's give these colors. We'll save it out, and then we'll set this up for Substance. We'll get it in the Substance. We'll get the basic textures on that. We'll pop over the wrestling outfit and work a little bit more on that. So I'm just seeing what colors have I got in here. So I think I went through my colors all the way through that one. So then I'm going to take the other colors and assign it to the rest of the outfit. Okay. Let's do this. Let's select that. Let's select that. And let's select that. Let's come over here to surfaces. The sock has got one color, one zone. Let's go over to our shaders, our color shaders, which eventually will get renamed to Savannah. And I think, which color are you? You look like you're this color. You are one of those. You're yellow. And you're this one here. So let's make you that color. And then we can work through here. So much materials in that. Oh, this is one outfit. That's right. Never mind. So I could just run through these. I wonder if I'm going to run out of colors. That's an awful lot of colors. Some of these blues are kind of the same. I think I got another 20 something colors. I might be able to get this. How are you feeling today, by the way, Charles? If you're still there. That is good. Moving along. Oh no, what the hell? Just popping in to say hi. Hey, Willie, how you doing? I gotta fix that. Tool settings. That shouldn't be there. I'll have to resave this after I get all these colors done. Wait, did you not do anything? Are you laughing at me? There are two shirt knots. Oh no. See, that looks like a shirt knot. And I can't tell. What is that? Where are you? Oh, there you are. Oh, you're the shirt attachments. Shirt knot attachments. That's what this needs to be. That's my problem. Doing all right. Can only hang out a little bit. Need to have Friday off. So you'll be working tomorrow and have that procedure done on Friday. Okay. Hey, good luck with the procedure, man. Attachment goes there. Of course, if this is wrong, it means the Genesis 9 one needs fixing. Okay, so we're moving right along. Is good. Needs a color. There we are. Head to bed. Got a job interview tomorrow. Oh, good luck with the job interview, Willie. Get all these colors assigned out. So many surfaces. And thanks for the shout out for Willie there, Charles. Appreciate that, man. All right, and then we got the weird colors all the way out here. I think I'm going to add rigid follow nodes and add buttons there and there. Technically, there should be a button in here, but it's going to fight with the belt, so we're just going to put a little doohickey on the texture there. And I think I just want to check this knot attachment. I'm going to do a different color for that so I can actually see it. There it is. So I think we're going to export all these out, arrange them a little bit in Blender. I'm going to straighten these legs up too, just for the... No, I'm not. I'm going to leave it like this. All right, let's grab everything and export. Let's do... There's actually 3: outfit, socks, boots, kind of come over here. We're going to set the resolution to base on these. If I can find my generals. Open these up. Then I can just come in here and say mesh resolution, mesh resolution, mesh resolution. Set all those to base. Make sure my mesh smoothing is off. Then we're going to export those out with the handy dandy export button. Let's come over to Substance. I do have the boots saved out already, but you know what I'm going to do on this? Or I'll do them separately. I think I'll do the boots separately. Because it's just, I think it'd be just easier that way. I am exporting them all out right now, but I'll leave the boots out later. I'm oddly excited to do the socks because they'll look cool. We're launching Blender. I'm gonna get rid of the boots out of there. Let's bring Blender over here so you can see what's going on. All right, let's activate the import. Come over here to the substance folder. Let's grab that. And it's exported without materials. Dang. Let's try that again. Outfit. You know what? I probably exported the boots last. And I was probably turn that off. Okay, that should be fine. That's better. I'm going to hide these. Makes it easier to select the boots and get rid of the whole kit and caboodle on those. Okay, so we're not going to keep the boots after all. Change my mind. Let's just double check my UV mapping. I did the socks and then added them in later. So they go there. And eventually we will separate out the top and the shorts. And eventually we will make these closed and opened versions or openable versions. So this should be good. Back to layout. We'll just export you again. Selection only with the materials. And I'll overwrite that. And then we'll do it one more time with no materials. And use the classic NM for that. Somebody hit the cap lock there. Should be good. All right, let's launch this into Substance. Okay. I don't think I started the boots in Substance yet there either. But we did set them up to be brought in. Somebody's got to shave, but I got to get a razor. I keep forgetting when I go to the store to just pick up a cheap razor to take that down so then the electric razor can go to work. Right now, this is just too long for my electric razor. And my beard trimmer is getting dull, so it hurts. So I'll just get a cheap disposable to help hack this off a little bit so I can just use the regular. Alrighty, file new. Select. We are in the Rampage outfit. We're going to come back to that a little bit later, but right now, we're here in Savannah. Someday I think I'll do an aviator. I can reuse the riding pants from the Storm Raider set. Actually, I'm probably going to reuse those for a Pulp Hero outfit too, similar to what Doc Savage used to get dressed out. What am I doing? I'm coming to my input folder. We're going over to the substance folder and we're going to grab the outfit and bring that in. And the boots have got more mesh than the rest of the outfit combined. Chris can never remember how to navigate in anything anymore. All right, let's bake our mesh maps. Let's turn that off. Let's turn that off. Let's hit the bake. We already have our most of our settings already set up, so we should be good to go. I think that's done. All right, let's load in the colors. And for the ID map, I want to use a 4K. We always make these cages really tight for better fidelity on that one. And then turn those off that we don't need. Turn that on. Turn those off. And bake selected. Dun 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 dun. Okay, it's good. Okay, back to painting. At this point, let's go ahead and save this so I can start saving files out. And whatever I save this with also becomes the name of the included the name of the textures I save. Pulp, Savannah, whip, substance, and you're going to be Savannah outfit. Should be good. Now I want to save the ID maps. We'll use that for making displacement maps. I don't need it for the socks because they actually have thickness and they're not going to be deforceable, but the rest of the outfit will need displacement maps. Although actually you know what? I'm probably going to use the displacement map to add some texture to that. So strike that. um, export textures. There we go. Come over here. I am looking for, I have a preset that I set up for this. That one right there. Export that. Let's find an outfit ID. Uh-oh, that folder opened up somewhere. Oh, there it is. It's really teeny. No wonder I couldn't find it. It was like that small, hiding in a corner. When you've got as much noise on my screen as I do. All right, let's cut you and move you over to the whip folder. Let's put you over into the whip folder. You go right there. You'll come back to you. Actually, while I still have it open in Blender, this is a good time to save out this as a texture template. Did I do that with the boots? I probably didn't do that with the boots. Where am I? As always, I can export UV layout. There we go. We'll start here and we'll work our way back up. And then back down. And I gotta rename you. And that's gonna be Savannah Outfit UVs. And we'll make those 4K. Export that. You know what? While I'm in here, I might as well knock the boots out. So we'll get that in here. Oh no. The boots didn't get their UVs flipped properly. I can fix that. Well, that's annoying. Which means I gotta fix this for both of them. I can actually make a UV file out of this. So here, let's do this. Let's pop into X-ray mode so I can select half like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale it. Scale X -1. Now I'm going to move this over. So whatever this is was plus 0.5. This number right here. So where it says 0.3, we're going to add a point. Actually, that's 0.3 or point. So I need to subtract this from 1. So I need like 7. Actually, let me do that over here. 1 minus 0.299905, which is about 7.095. Close enough. I got too many decimal points in there. I'll just confuse people. Nope, that's not where you go. So maybe I do just add. Maybe it is 0.8. 0.8 seems to do the trick. Okay, never mind. We're good. I'm going to resave this, and then later on I can use this object to load in updated UVs for my objects. And I'm going to have to do a little bit of jumping through hoops to fix my boots in DAZ. Anywho, I think it's a matter of just updating the UVs, re-exporting it, and then updating the geometry. And I can just use this for both files because it's just the UV information that's important for this. So I can use it for Genesis 8 and Genesis 9, update those, and then save out and re-update, something like that. I don't know. File export. Let's do that. Let's tab out of here. Let's come over here. Actually, while I was here, I should save the template. It's the reason I was here in the first place. There, I want to save it there. This is going to be for boots. Boots UVs. That looks good. 4096. Okay, now I'm going to save this out. I think I loaded this in from. This didn't have any materials on it, did it? No, so that was in the substance folder with the no materials. So I'm going to remember that's the one I got to use for updating UVs with. That one right there. And I think this is materials doesn't matter for what I need this for. I'm actually going to call this UV so I can find it later. Okie dokie. You have been exported. We're in substance bacon. Okay, sounds good. I'm probably going to have to re-export out the boots for substance for this. So I might as well override that one. And then I'll hide that, and then I'll do the same thing with this one here, because it's got all my colors on it. So we're just going to do the same weirdo magic. Scale X -1. Put that over to 0.8. So that should match. Then I can just export this back out over that. And I'm going to make sure to check materials this time so we get our colors out. Okay, I did my bacon. I saved my ID maps. I'm going to put some generic materials on here. This is basically leather belt, fabric pants and top. We're going to do stitching. I don't know if I'm going to do that today, though. I'm going to fake a button on the pants right there. I might tweak. I might tweak the belt somewhat in Blender to get the shape a little nicer, but that's for another. That doesn't make a difference for what we're doing right now. So I think I'm going to just drop a fabric and use it as the back base. Um, so let's start with probably a cotton. And then we'll just change that. And then I'm going to find a big knit pattern, and we'll put it on the socks and we'll run it up and down that way. But we're going to tile that. It's probably too coarse, but this is a Daz World, and you want to be a little exaggerating, or else your subtlety gets completely lost. Um, does this cotton have a color? Cotton does have a color. Excellent. And we're not going to use that color. So I'm just going to duplicate that 8 times for the different color sets. Or should I just put a... No, I'm going to do... And then we'll use the socks. We'll get their own color set. So let me do this 8 times. We'll start with... Actually, I'm just going to say X for right now, because it's just easier to do that. And then, is it Control D? Yep, 1, 2, 3. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And this will be black. And this will be white. And this will be brown. And this will be olive. Or tan. Let's say khaki. Khaki. And that'll be olive. And this will be a dark muted red. Or maybe just dark red. This will then be a dark blue. Possibly navy, but I think I'm going to not go quite that dark. And this will be pink, because we like pink. Probably good. I think I'm going to do buttons and zippers in either steel or brass. And then socks. Let's set up the socks. Actually, let's do these colors. Let's just do, so pink. I'd like to do pink kind of in here. Okay, so blue. I was thinking something a little bit in that range. Red. Chris likes dark red. There we go. Olive. Olive is basically just yellow but really dark. Maybe a little. So there we go. Khaki. I can't remember what khaki is. I'm going to Google that shit. I didn't say khakis. I did not put an S on there, you stupid autofill. Khaki color. That's what we want. So what we're looking for is something like this. What I'll do is I'll take the little eyedropper tool and we'll sample that, and that'll be our khaki. I'm going to put that over on screen too, though. So come here, grab that little thing, run all the way over to where you can't see it anymore. Click on that color. Khaki. Okay, brown. I'm going to type in brown color and see what I like. There's like certain browns I like, certain browns I don't. So, you know what? I'm just not a. I just changed my khaki color. Let's not do that. So that's not the brown I want. I like brown to be kind of dark and a little leaning towards neutral, maybe. Maybe a little darker than that. That might be good. And I think I'll desaturate it a little bit. And that'll be the brown. Okay, white. So as y'all have heard, white is never really white. It's usually a light gray because Dad's going to wash that shit out. By default, the burn highlights is higher than I like to use in the default DAS render. And then black, of course, isn't really black. It's like really dark gray. And there's our colors just set up for that. All right, let's dig up the socks now. I'm going to type in knit and see what we can come up. That one cross stitch close up. That might make a good sock. I've probably used that before. Or stylized rib knit. Stylized rib knit. That looks good. We're gonna do stylized rib knit. And it's pointing the right way already. And then we'll just kind of dial that shit in. Tile that down and change the color. And we'll do the same thing. Once I get one done, and here, let's group all of these. And I'm going to call that fabric. And then I can kind of close that down. And then we can just kind of concentrate on these. All right, we'll start with the black. My tiling's way off though. Let's fix that. Also, you know what I forgot to do? I want to make sure I'm using the normal map. Let's take a look. See, we're not using the normal map, so I'm going to go turn it on all of these. You can't see anything because these are just the colors you can't see yet. There we go, getting those normal maps on. And we should see the change when we click on the black. Maybe not. What do we got in here? There we go. I can see a normal map there. And a normal map there. We need to still tile this. So it has a nice, or maybe I'm not going to use that. Might be better off. Actually, let me switch you back to material. Let's see what I think of that. Maybe tile a little bit more. I don't know. Does that give me a good socky look? I might go with that. Yeah, we'll do that one. All right. And I'm going to put black at the beginning of this. And then we're going to duplicate this. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. And what do we got? Next up is I'm going to just shuttle these down and bring them up as we go. So that'll be white. That'll be brown. That'll be khaki. That'll be olive. That'll be blue. That's going to be red. And that'll be pink. Okay, we'll start with the white. Oh no. Oh no. I can't change this color. Can I? Did I? How did I make this black? What the hell? Where was the color selector on here? Did I accidentally close it? I totally made this black, but I don't see how. I remember clicking on something. Did that go away when I clicked? What the L? Bloody L. See, that's blue. How did I get that color to change? Because I totally. I mean, I did. This is black. That's blue. Where did the color go? Oh, there it is. It's under parameters. Never mind. Hey, hate to run, but hey, take care, Charles. Thanks for being here, man. I'm glad to have you for a few minutes. All right, I found it. I accidentally hit it. See, S Bond is leaving the house. Take care. And I probably won't see you Thursday. So good luck with the procedure on Friday. I think if I see you Thursday, I'll wish you good luck again. All right. Oh, I got this open. It's easy. It depends on what time you have to get up the next morning. Ooh. Yeah. Well, if you don't show up, I totally get it, man. Oh, I can hear myself in the background. Means I probably have a volume tweaked a little on something. Probably YouTube. Maybe not. Maybe. Yeah, YouTube is just a little on. All right. There, YouTube is now perfectly muted. Chris was looking for khaki. Where did my khaki go? There it is. I'm just going to sample that one. Olive, I just eyeballed that. Blue stylized, I kind of eyeballed that one too. I just changed the olive color. Okay, red. Chris has already likes to use kind of darkish in there. And then pink. And I always go to the over there and then choose something in here for the pinks I like. So that works. Let's group these together, call them socks. Close that up, close that up. Oh yeah, let's get my shadows and highlights in here. I'll just drop that on top. This adds a little bit of highlight, a little bit of shadow to the textures. Gives it a little bit of variation. Not that you can really see it there. And then we have the dirt. I'll grab the dirt while we're at it. So I originally made the dirt back with the Storm Rider outfit. I've kind of been using the same smart material ever since because it's just easy and it looks good. So I think that'll be fine for our dirt, but we'll turn those off. I'm going to leave this one on. We're going to want to add stitches. I'm going to make a couple versions of the highlighter. So on the black, that white's a little too strong. So I'm going to call this dark highlights. And then I'm going to make a version that'll work better with the lighter colors. So I could just kind of pull that back a little, like so. Duplicate this. Hide that. Let's come over here and light up one of the lighter colors. And then we'll tweak the, and we're going to call you light. So I'm going to adjust the dark part of this highlighter shadow. This one here. So if I make that darker, it punches things up. If you make it too dark, it's obnoxious. That might work. So I have a couple quick options for laying in a little bit of highlighting and shadow. It's a little artificial, but I think it kind of looks nice. Okay, oh yeah, we need leather for the belt. Belt colors are going to be black, white, brown, and tan. And they're going to basically match the boot colors. So let's get a leather in here. Let's find that leather that I really like. If I can. Is it this one? Is it leather stylized or leather weathered? I always forget. I'm just going to drop it on the whole thing, and that's not it. I think this is leather stylized I like. Yeah, we're going to go with that. We'll plop that right there onto the belt. We'll set that up for 4 sets of colors. Do I get a color option in here? There's a base color. I think changing that does the trick. I got a little bit of noise in here. We'll touch that up. So before I go off here, we're going to do a little paint layer here on the mask. Just to make sure that this is nice and clean. So let's add a paint. Let's make you small. And then I just do, and then I'm painting through. We're going to set this to only paint on the UVs. There we go. And then I can just touch that up. So we don't have those weird little artifacts from the imprecision of the ID map. I swear navigation in this is just not intuitive to me. After all these years, I still, and it really doesn't help using so many programs. Okay, let's get that touched up right through there. Should be good. I have a whole bunch of strips, but they're just going to be invisible. So I think that's going to be good. Here, let's name you Brown. Got too many W's in Brown. And space there. All right, one. I don't know what I just did. I'm control D'ing you. What is this? Duplicate layers. Oh, okay. I see what I did. Never mind. Okay, we're going to want black. Going to want white. And we're going to do tan, which is going to be a little darker than the khaki. Maybe like a light brown. And I just said, I want that actually to be white. You're going to be tan. And then these are going to be basically the same colors that I'm going to make the boots. And we're making leather boots. All right, off. Turn that off and we'll come in and this is the base color and that's going to be the black. So we're going to, I like my blacks to lean a little on the blue, but they're basically just really dark grays. Okay, this is going to be white. Same thing. I tend to like my lights if they're leaning towards a color, leaning towards cool. And then, but it's actually just a light gray. And then tan. I'm going to Google tan and see what I like. You know, I could probably pick from those khaki colors. Because I can maybe... I still have the khaki up over on screen too. I don't know what I just changed. So maybe I'll do that for the tan for the belt. Yeah, that's the ticket. All right, let's group the belts together. And then I'm going to put a little spot of... Then let's get the zippers in here. What do you got? I'm going to play with this for a few more minutes and then I'm going to jump back over to the wrestling outfit and start cranking on that. I'm going to have like maybe 9 or 10 colors with the wrestling outfit. I'm thinking 8, 9, 10. Black, white. You know, the 6 other basic colors. Do I want to do an overlay, a color overlay? I might do that to put in like maybe some patterns. I haven't decided yet. Maybe I haven't done an overlay for a while. I think maybe we'll do an overlay so I can just take the color map, use a mask, and then blend the two on top of each other. But then I can't get really cool color effects, so I'll probably come up with like maybe another 10 pattern matte options. In addition to, I will also set up the options to change the trim separate from the rest of the outfit. Which would be cool with the metallics. Use the metallic trims with the matte colors. Anywho, I am grouping you guys. I was grouping you guys. Let's try this again. Oh, I did. Never mind. I got folder. I didn't even see it. Leather belts. And let's slide that back down under here, underneath the highlighters. Let's turn the highlighters on. You know, that darkness might be a little much. Let's put you down here. Which one I had? That's the one for the lights. Maybe we'll dial those. Maybe we just dial you back a little. Probably good. Okay. Have I saved? I have not hit save recently. Oh, that khaki setup looks nice. We do the khaki stylized socks with that. Match that with the tan boots. Um, so I think I'm going to do a paint layer in here. Right about there is probably good. Let's see if we can drop. I think my zipper goes in over here. Technically, I should hide half of this because you'll never see it. Maybe I will put an opacity map. And maybe do I have an opacity map on these? Now that I think about it, I don't think these had If they do, what does that look like? They actually don't have an opacity map for the socks. That's fine. And the fabric doesn't seem to have opacity maps. Do I want to maybe use another one to kind of give a slight opacity to the, and we'll just set that back in here. I'll come back to the zipper in a short bit. And actually, you're only going to ever see half the zipper because I didn't set it up to come apart in the middle. So I might opacity, and then if it comes open, you can just see the one side on the right. I think I can do that. I can't do that with the pen tool. I got stuff in the way. I'll have to just go in and maybe we'll see how this works out. What am I doing? I'm looking for. Well, let's drop a zipper and zipper tape. Do I get an option for just half of a zipper type? I'm gonna have to probably in your internet. Are you a pen only tool? I can't just type you in like that. Oh, maybe I can. Let's set you up on the. I'm in the wrong. That didn't do nothing. Yeah, it's because it wants the pen. There was a zipper that didn't require the pen. And where did it go? See if I click on that, that's a special. That's a special. That's a special. Where in the world? I don't know. Let me see. That's not. That works with the regular. I want to say it's like a roller brush or something, right? But it isn't. Heck, nabbit. I've used this thing before and I'm not seeing it anymore. Did they update it and take it away? See, I've got all of these, but these are the cool path tool zippers. There used to be a perfectly good zipper that wasn't a path tool. I mean, maybe I can do a weird stupid mask trick, which basically means I'll like lay the pen down on here, and then I'll mask out the stuff on top and make sure that the pen tool projects down deep enough to get it. It's missing though. What the heck? This is what happens. Here, let's Google some shit. Uh, what are you called? You're like the paintbrush, right? You're the paint zipper substance zipper brush for paint. No, I don't want path tools. That's exactly what I'm not looking for. Actually, let's see. I have my texture library. There it is. Let's take a look in here. Now I'm stuck. No results for zip. Is it just because I didn't spell zipper out? Is that my problem? One result for zipper. That's annoying. Maybe wait a minute. That would be too stupid. What happened to the old zipper? Uh, Hidden shelf smart material. Maybe. Reloading the project, selecting the paint tool. Uh, Windows view shelf or reporting dynamic zipper. I don't want the. I'm checking a tutorial real quick here. I think that's for a product. Yeah, there should be. Can I not? Yeah, I can. I mean, I can use you like that, but I need the zipper that predated that. And that one's that's a path too. Okay. Here, let me. I've got another tutorial I'm looking at here. I can't hear you. Oh, there you go. emoji's not saying nothing. I don't even need this volume on. Do that before I get a copyright strike or something stupid. All right, paint tool. See, that's what I'm looking for. That thing right there. That says zipper. I'm not seeing that anymore. All right, we'll just, I'm just going to open this up and scroll through and see if it's something stupid. I mean, if we go down to where zipper should be, right? That was totally a tool once upon a time. And it was totally called zipper, and it's totally not there. Because it's totally been replaced with smart shit. Is weld still here? The old weld? Or did they just get rid of it? Because hey, we got these cool path tools that you can only use in the 3D view. No. You know what? Let's just slowly make our way through here, and we'll see if I can spot it. See, these are the older stitches. What would that be under? Dynamic, staple, roller. Here, let's take a look at something like this. Can I, path starter assets, paint roller. Let me, see what I got sitting in my system. ZBrush Brushmaker paint roller. I'm actually looking for what, like a directory called paint roller, right? And these would be SPPRs is what I'm looking for. Okay. SPPR. All right, let's take a look. So if I look at these, are these all of these zipper metal, zipper? Field Adobe Substance. These were all modified. Then, I don't know, let's see if I look for all my SPPR files. We'll search by date modified. And actually, can I put .sppr? Will that help narrow it down? And we put date modified. And we go by name. Are all of these from 26? Actually, let's do date modified, and then we'll see if we can find anything that predates 26. It's like none of this predates 26. It's like they overwrote their library. It's like they completely janked out the old brushes for the new. Oh no. Oh no. That's annoying. See, my brushes are still in here. The fact that all the brushes. Uh, I can't remember how to hide mesh. I suppose what I could do is separate it out. Oh, this is annoying. Oh, zipper brush gone in substance painter. Can be found within the old zipper brushes in Substance 3D can be found within the shelf under brushes or alpha, or stitched. No, it doesn't. Um, stupid AI. Metal zipper. There is this. Where are you? And why is it I didn't find that when I came over here? It says community assets. Oh, what? Oh, you're so frustrating. It brings up this weird pop up. I can see the rest of it behind it. I can't actually get to. Oh, there it is. Adobe Substance 3D assets. Zipper. See, there's zippers there. So let's come back here. Let's type. I did this before, didn't I? I don't like these. Aren't like the old. I don't know. Maybe I can use one of these. I'm flummoxed. I'm probably going to stop in it and look into this later. Uh, I got to learn on how to hide mesh. I think is what it comes down to. Because what I want to do is I want to paint underneath here. I mean, I can probably mask all of this stuff off and just kind of lay it on top. So maybe we'll try that. We'll try to project the zipper in, and then I'll put a mask, and then I can use the UV on the mask to black out everything on top of it. So we'll just go with the zipper tape. And my problem is I can't really see what I'm doing. So it's going to come through here. And I want to line it up in here. And where is my, and I don't need you anymore. I need my layers. Where'd my layers go? Did I accidentally close my layers? Damn it. Window. Where's layers was over there? Did that just get shut? Wait a minute. Is it because the unit interface said, brah, you don't have enough room in here? We're going to hide that for you. Cool? No, not cool. There it is. That's why I can't find layers, because everything else is so freaking big. So is that the layer I'm painting on? Nope. What am I painting on? I'm painting on this one. I think also I gotta move this all the way up here. That's better. All right. I can kind of play with this, I think. I think I can set this to single sided, right? Maybe not. Maybe I was thinking of a different zipper tool. Um we'll just zipper mold, zipper plastic, zipper metal. And side, I can choose top or bottom. Can I get rid of the pull? Open zipper. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do the open zipper and then I'm going to mask off the other side. Chain. I don't need a chain. Tape. I don't want tape. I can probably just make you like 0, right? We'll do that. Pull tab. I'm not going to put a pull tab in here. You know, for open, you think it would be opened a little bit better. Top stitches, technical parameters. Okay, so what is the... Okay, top type metal. Bottom. Oh, that's just yeah. I want that. I want that, except I'm going the wrong way. I want you down here. So I'm just going to get rid of this. Can I just delete? I can't see it because it's right here and the window's too small. And it's just not important enough for it to give me the room to see that path. So let's get rid of you. Let's get rid of you because I have no idea what you are. You, I don't. Let's restart that. Let's do this. And I think it's just a matter of just drawing that through there using metal zipper. And then we do the... Oh, there we go. That got rid of half of it. Only I actually wanted the other half. Kind of like that. Excellent. I don't actually need it open. I just want half of that. And do I got opacity with that? I'm going to put opacity with that because I'm going to use a black mask to knock that off with. Chain. I don't think I need a chain. I want to... let's keep the chain. I'm going to do that. We'll do that. I'm going to get rid of the pull. And is there a way to reposition this? The tape. Projection depth. If I set that to go deep enough. And why are you not going all the way? See, I can't get you to the edge because of the... So is there a setting? Also, I want it to be smaller. Do I have a scale? Size. Yeah, all I get is... Oh, there we go. It kind of snaps to smaller when you do that. See, I can't drag that out there. And I'm not seeing an option that I can position. Oh, you are. Oh, except you're bleeding through to up here. No, you're actually, but that's not the side I want. I think here, I want this to go here, and then I'm going to mask that side off with an opacity map. I'm going to mask that so you don't see it. I can't quite get this to go all the way to the end. Is there a parameter for that? See, I'm not seeing anything that lets me... And that didn't, because I don't have the chain selected. Good there. Maybe I'm just gonna have to touch this shit up in Photoshop. Activate the normal. Let me see what that looks like on the opacity map. See, that looks good. We like that. We'll paste that in. And then I'm probably just gonna have to, you know, I'm just gonna have to tweak the shit out of this in Photoshop. Because it doesn't give me an option to get all the way. Actually, that's gonna work. It's gonna finish there, and then I gotta just blank that out. See, I've got this little spot right here. So I'm going to touch up the opacity on that. We're also going to mask this off. So let's put let's add a black mask so everything goes away, and then I can just paint in the areas I want to see. We'll do that with a paintbrush. We'll just do this on the UVs. On the UV, and I can just kind of come in here. See if I can remember how to make you bigger. I'm missing that corner. It's not letting me get it. Oh, I think I kind of got it. Maybe it just does that. Oh, it's because it. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to touch that up manually. And then we'll add this to over here. Where does it go? Should be right there. Oh, I have to touch it up. That's right. There it is. Yay. That's our zipper. Okay, I'm done angsting over that. That's going to be my opacity map for the zipper. Let's add a fill layer in the very back. That'll kind of backstop everything. I'll put the opacity on that to be white. And I'll put the backing color to be black. Just in case I get any weird bleeds, the black will help hide that. So I think this is good. So there's my zipper. You can't actually see it because it's covered. But when it becomes undone, and I'm going to pull you down to here. Chris can't see his thingamajigger. Um, are you my? Yep, you're what I'm looking for. Where's my? I can't see my path anymore. There it is. There you are. I could just take you and drag you until that gets to about in there. All right, this should be workable. Looking something like that. And then maybe I assign this a separate material zone and call it zipper. And that'll just, because if I put an opacity map, it does that weird transparency thing, even though it's completely opaque. So if I assign it to just here, it will kind of hide that weirdness. All right, is this good? Yep, now I spent too much time. I'm going to put a little button in here. I might as well get my button out. That actually goes over here. I'm going to put it right in there. But, but, I totally had and I spelled that bot. That's the reason I'm not seeing it. Let's spell it, but, button snap. There we go. A handy dandy. I'm going to set you to UVs. You are on UVs. Excellent. We're just going to put you right there. I didn't see anything. I'm in the wrong layer. That's my problem. There, I need a new paint layer. That's not what I'm looking for. That's a buttonhole. Maybe I need one of my rivets. Here, let's see what Chris has. I have a thing called button brush. That's a buttonhole brush. Never mind. I got my eyelets. Got my thread. I got my rivets. I might just stick a rivet in there. There's another eyelet. I think you just do that. It still looks like a buttonhole. That's actually a rivet. 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 Do I want to put rivets in here? I gotta do the. You're not set the UVs. You're on tangent wrap, aren't you? There we go. You know what? I'm just going to put that, and I'm going to put small ones in. And I'm going to make that color. Do I have a color? I'm using a color map, damn it. You know, we'll make teeny little rivets and put them here in the corners of the pockets. All blue jean like. I'm going to get sued by Levi's for using rivets. Looking good. I need holes in here. I'll have to figure that out. And I got to do stitching. And, you know, here's where I do need the buttonholes. I can put my buttonholes up in here. Save rivets on that. Let's put another layer in here. Okay, here's where that button brush comes in handy. I'm going to set that to UV. So I'm tangent wrapping that. So I'm going to have some, I need to rotate you 90 degrees. Somewhere in here. Size, orientation, angle, let's say 90 on that. Let's try that again. And I can put you right there. Maybe we'll make you smaller. Okay, we're going to just drop you in there, but we're going to change the color. Switch you to, what does overlay do? And then we'll dial that back. And then I'll put a little black in here. So I'm going to kind of do that. And then right back in here. And did you do opacity, by the way? Nope, but you do now. And let me just check my opacity. So that looks fine. That was all part of the plan. And now I just need a regular. Actually, let me put these in first. Yo, Rod, how are you doing? Oh no, you bleeded through. Let me trash that and let me reinstall it. And then let me put my buttonhole in. And you're bleeding through. Because my buttonhole is set back to tangent wrap instead of UV, which I had chose earlier. We're working on a safari outfit today. I'm working on the textures. I spent a half hour trying to figure out what the hell Substance did with the old zipper tool. Zipper brush. I think they just got rid of it. I'm adding little buttonholes. We're going to add buttons later. There we go. We're going to set you to 90. Thanks. How you doing today? Charles and Willie have already been and gone. That looks like it went too small. I'm working in the wrong spot. There it is. So I'm going to put that right there. And I'm going to put the other one on the other side. You know what? Actually, I'm going to turn on the, I want to see the wireframe. Because I want to line that up on that thing right there. And then we'll come over here and I'll stick this one right about there. I think that's going to be good for the buttonholes. So I'm going to set the color to overlay and we're going to dial that back. Just like that. Then I'm going to come over here. We're going to paint a little black line in here for opacity. So I just need, let's clear the filter. Let's go with the basic. And get rid of that. Get rid of that. I lost my alpha. Let me see if I can. Where's my, oh, for crying out loud. There's my basic soft shape default alpha. Okay. And how are you? You know what? That's kind of what I want. But I just want to paint in the opacity. And I want to paint. Oh no, did I undo my stupid button brushes? Damn it. How far back did I get rid of all of them? I got rid of the whole layer. Dang. We'll redo. We have the technology. We can fix it. We can fix it. My dad's got tools. Oh. Arg. I can never rotate shit with this damn mouse. Oh, and I'm on UVs again, or tangents again, so I have to undo the ones that I already did. Okay, I'm going to put one right there. Hanging in there, busy day, extra busy. They're all busy, but today especially. And I'm going to put one right there. Okay. UVs are on. Okay, we're going to move over to the pockets. I'm going to rotate. There's my rotate. I found it. I'm going to type in 90 on that. And I'm going to zoom in and put that right about there. And then we're going to go over to the other one. And then I'm going to zoom in and put that right about there. And then I'm going to pop over to layer 6. We're going to switch over to the basic. I'm going to clear out. I only want opacity for this. I want the opacity to be like that. So I want this to be hard and really small. And then I'm just going to put that right in there. And I don't see nothing. But if we go to opacity, I see a giant black dot. Did you not paint opacity? You did have opacity. Why are you not visible? I'm not seeing. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to make it really small. Oh, damn it. Where'd my. I lost my buttonhole again. Every time I tuck and turn around, it's still right there. What the hell? Yep, same tomorrow. Not quite as busy. Just can't sleep in. Therapist coming early. Damn that therapist coming early. Okay, I'm reloading in my button. Turn on the opacity on that. Do I have a mask on this? I do have an alpha mask on this. I'm going to make you small. I'm going to rotate you by 90. I'm going to put one there. I'm going to rotate you back to 0. I'm going to put one right in there. Your computer's... Oh no. Oh yeah. It doesn't like me. And I'm such a nice guy. I only say bad things about it behind its back. What the hell? Okay, that should be good. Now I'm going to come over here. Now I'm going to switch over to this. Now I'm going to make sure you're on UVs. I'm going to come down here and we're only going to work with these. And I'm going to switch over to opacity. And if I do that, I'm painting white. Never mind. There we go. Now I can see my little buttonhole in there. Excellent. I now have confidence. I kind of know the direction I'm going in. So I'll go back to material. So let's adjust this brush. And then I'm going to just drop that in like so. We'll just pop over here and see if I can actually see something. We can. You just curse them out to their monitor. Well, there's your problem. Okay, I'm getting my opacity in here. I'm just going to do this and pray that it's going right. Oh no, I painted through again. Damn it. Okay, that should be all the opacity. Let's group these together and call them buttonholes. Okay, let's move you back over there. And let's see where I'm going to check. I may have accidentally painted underneath. See right there, I accidentally painted underneath. And I got it over there. Is it you also on the sleeves? Did you end up on the sleeves? See, you ended up on the sleeves too. Let's get the eraser tool out and see if we can clean this stuff up. I'm going to erase everything. And are you set for... And we'll set that to UVs. And then I can just clear that up. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And get rid of that. All right. And let's check our opacity. So I have teeny little with my buttonholes. All right, I think I'm good. Then I got my zippers got opacity on it, and I think those are the only spots that I need it really. I really didn't get to the wrestling outfit. I spent all day on this one. So I am going to do stitching on this. So let's do that. Let's start doing stitching. And then 11 minutes. We'll call it a day. So here, let's add another layer there. I'm going to call you belts or stitches. Stitches for snitches. Now this is stitches for the belt. And then there's my belt right there. That looks fine. I'm just going to use the old-fashioned stitches, that one there. So we're going to take a little bit of time just setting this thing up. Make it small. I'm going to make it red because we're going to... I did not see nothing. Let's go back to UV. Let's make my stitch color red so I can see what I'm doing. We'll adjust that with a hue, saturation, lightness filter later. But for right now, that's probably going to be fine. I'm going to tweak that to say thin thread though. And then we can just kind of run through like that. This is all one great big straight line, so I should be able to just get to the other end and hold the shift key down and click all the way across. I have to adjust the bump map on that leather. I can see that. There we go. Okay, so now we're just running back to the other side of the belt. Oh no, I forgot to... Did I forget to turn the normals on? I don't have a height map. I'm going to do that again with a height map this time. So we're going to undo that back to here, and I'm going to redo that. It goes faster the second time. Whenever I really screw something up, that's the only consolation I get. Well, it goes faster the second time. Because all the hard thinking's done. It's just now a matter of repeating the steps. Often that's figuring out what you want to do before you do something is the hardest part. See, that's better. Now I can see my height map. A pretty height map. There we go. Boom. Okay, we're good. Stitches on the belt. My belt's showing stuff bleeding in from behind. So I think, where is my leathers? My leathers are right there. I'm going to tweak some settings on these things. Not that one. This one here. I think we'll just set that to normal. It'll take the normal map. We'll just set that to normal. There we go. That's better. And now we're just only getting the leather textures. Okay, that red looks a little weird. All right, I'll give you that. But we're gonna put, actually, let's drag you down to right there. I have a plan. The second time you have a plan. The first time you don't have a plan and you're figuring that out. And that's the part that takes the longest of most projects, is figuring out what you want to do when you sit down and you're going, And then when it explodes, you're going, all right, but I know what I want to do now. I can just do it. And I'm going to be faster too, because I've had practice. That whole disaster was a learning experience. Totally. Stitches belt. We're going to put a filter on that. Add a filter. It's my favorite hue, saturation, and lightness filter. There we go. I'm going to set you to regular. I'm not going to change the hue, but what we're going to do is we're going to desaturate that, and we're going to make it dark. And then I'm going to set it to just multiply. So what it does is it's basically a darker version of the color underneath it. So that's going to be my stitching for that. And let's see. It gets complicated. I'm going to put stitching here. Stitching here. We're going to put stitching down the side. I want to put stitching along here. You're going to put stitching around the pocket. I think I might. Let's try the fancy tool with that one. I think we'll double stitch all of this. Here we get the new fancy pen tool. Come over to apparel. I'm going to do top stitching, double stitch. We'll do that. And now we'll set this up. Where's my rivets? So I'm going to do this under my rivets. So my rivets are on top of the stitching. We're going to adjust this. We're going to adjust this. Couple of things we're going to do. Let's come over here. I am going to click on the normal. Do I have the thing that says UV or not? Projection depth. There we go. We're just going to make that small like that. Thickness. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Okay, do I have a stitch color? Yeah, so we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to make this obnoxious red, and we'll put a filter on it later. And I'll hit escape on that. Oh, you know what? I really don't like this tool. Never. What are you looking like? If I export you, are you going to look? Let's do a quick export, and I want to take a look at how this looks on the base map versus the other stitching. I keep forgetting this is kind of a janky. So let's go to Control Shift E, and with 3 minutes left, we're probably going to call it a day right about here. Let's do my 5 channels for right now because I just want to look at the color actually. Actually, let's just do the color, and I'll export that. And I'm going to open up the directory, and we're going to open you up, and we're going to zoom in. See, that looks like poop, doesn't it? I want to take a look at what's on the belt. Where's my belt? There's my belt. See, the one on the belt looks so much better. I'm not going to use that janky ass tool. It's kind of a shame it's so crappy. It really didn't do a particularly good job. And it bled through. All right, we're not doing it that way. I'm just going to use the old brush tool and clickety clickety click. So I'm just going to trash that layer. And we'll just put in another Stitches shorts. And I'm just going to do with this. Set that height. Turn you to red. This one I'm going to set to double, running double. Okay, we're going to adjust that. Okay, we're going to do the thin thread. I can set this to be UVs so it won't bleed through to the stuff underneath it. And set that size. Let's try 1. God, that looks so much better. Maybe, I'm thinking 0.8 though on the size. Yep, we're going to do that. And then if I take this and run it back behind the rivets are on top. And can I still continue with you? Nope, I lost my... I should probably do this on the UV map. Another bonus with this way is I can just do it on the UV map, which sometimes means really long straight distances. It's easier to do. Because I'm gonna run it through here, and it's just because it's a straight distance, I can just kind of come down in here and click there, and then click there and draw my line. I want that a little farther off the edge though. Oops. That's what I wanted, but I'm upside down. I can't see what I'm doing. Like there's an up and a down in here. Anywho, I can do a click, bring it over here, and do a clack. I can do the same thing here. Take that, you 3D path brush. Think you're so freaking cool with your ability to path right on a mesh. Oh, I lost my starting point. That's better. Okay, we want to do through here. Try not to get too far. It becomes obvious that I'm just drawing straight lines. Yay. Okay, let's run along the top of the waistband. Actually, let's put you... There's a little line right there I can see on my grid lines. Dang it. That is just such an unintuitive... To me, it's just totally unintuitive, which is the reason why I keep doing that. I'm also not crazy about the way that's stupid. Whenever I hit the shift key, this stupid menu pops up. And unfortunately, I hit the shift key when I draw straight lines. Go figure. And I draw straight lines a lot. All right. Are you back pockets? You know, over along the back pockets? Yeah, I'm going to run you through here. Let's undo. Do the shirt on a separate layer. I'll just take care of this. You know, these are... I'll do a seam through here. Then we can bring this back around. This is the fly, so I'm just going to... Put a stitching on one side of the seam. We'll run stitches from here to here. Do the same thing over here. think I'm almost done, except for this other back pocket. All right, I'll do the shirt later. Um, so let's put our filter on here. I'm eventually going to group these. You know what? Let's put this in a group. Let's get the stitches to the belt and we'll bring it down here. We'll put all the stitches into a happy family. Group layers. And then I can just put the HSL filter on that. And then I'm going to call it a night. It's a little past 9. Hey, if there's anybody on YouTube watching, like and subscribe. That would be great. Rod, it's good to see you. I'm sorry you've had a busy day. And it sounds like maybe not as busy tomorrow, but you still got to be up early, man. Dang. Can I just drag and drop that over there instead? I can't. Damn it. That would have been too easy. All right, let's drop a filter on here. The good old hue, saturation, and lightness, so I can just adjust the color using dials. So I'm just going to desaturate that shit. We're just going to make that shit dark. And then we're just going to come over to here. You know what? I'm going to switch you back to 100%. And I'm going to control that up here. We'll multiply that. Or do I want to? It doesn't make any difference. Multiply and overlay. And then we're just going to dial that back so it just kind of darkens in. And let's switch back to materials and let's take a look at how we're looking so far. And this is where we're going to stop for the day. So I'm getting my details in on the shorts. I think we're doing well. Not getting slate toe. I normally force myself out of bed before 9 or 9:30. I have banking clients, but they don't use me so much anymore. So I don't feel the need to be out of bed at 9 sharp anymore. Anyhow, this is coming along nicely. We've got our little sexy safari outfit. We have our boots. We don't have our boots, but we got our socks here and we got our shorts and we got our shirt. It will come with boots. It will include, I'm going to make a canteen, one of those really old army canteens, the 1910 pattern, kind of like what you see from World War II. I remember using that in the 60s. My dad was in the camping and we had canteens like that. Um, Also, I think I'm going to make a compass and add it to the belt. So I'm going to put a canteen. We'll add a little compass. We'll give her a pith helmet. Um, she'll have her cool little boots and her cool little socks and her clothes that can come undone. Anyhow, thanks for being here, Rod. It was good to see you. I appreciate you popping in, man. I know Willie was in here earlier. Appreciate it. And Charles had popped in for as long as he could. They just work him like a dog. Poor Charles. Anyhow, usually you wake up around. I try to be up not too late. On sometimes I have rough nights and I'm up till like 4. Then I might stay till 10 or 11. But I think it's true. As you get older, you need less sleep. It feels like. I'm gonna hit save on that. I tend to be too. I'm almost never in bed before 2. I feel like I'm making real progress if I'm getting in bed by 1. And I feel like I stayed up too late if it's 4. If it's 2 o'clock, that's like my, because that still gives me like 6 hours at 8. Then I can snooze till 9, and that works for me. Um, Anyhow, if there's anybody else here on Twitch who wants to hang out for the raid, um, feel free to stick it out. I will be back Thursday. We will be playing with this or the other outfit. Probably this, because I'll probably do the other outfit, mostly the wrestling outfit. I meant to get to doing the textures on that today, and I just got caught up on this one. I got I they took away a paintbrush, and I couldn't find it. It was driving me crazy. I wasted a lot of time looking for that. So, anywho, um, yeah. So Thursday we'll probably maybe we'll make the props. I still have to make a canteen, a compass, and a pith helmet to go with this set, and we still have to texture boots. Although I wanna get the wrestling outfit done this week, so I should probably focus on that. And then I want this one. I'm trying to get it done before the end of the month, which is next Tuesday. That's probably a little ambitious, but we'll see. Anyhow, always a pleasure. Until Joe, we say hi, and let's find somebody on Twitch to go hang out with. I think I maybe have a viewer. It says I have four. Um, who's on Twitch? I saw Catherine was on, but she tends to stop before I do. I think Sally Quinn may be on. If that's the case, maybe we'll go over and say hi to Sally. Josh is on, still using his Uwu Co official. I don't see Sally. I don't see Catherine. Hi back from Joe. Oh, good. Thanks. DJ Ray's on. Maybe we'll go over and just hang out with DJ Ray. Uh, Tarpoff's on. I'm gonna go hang out with Tarpoff. Tarpoff pops in from time to time. He's a good friend. For a Twitch friend, for somebody whose face I've never actually seen. So, given the people who are on, I think we're gonna go say hi to our friend Tarpoff. Tarpoff is playing a really cool game called the Talos Principle. It's kind of this cool puzzle game where you run around setting up this stuff to get things to open and close. Um, Anyhow, that's what Tarpoff's doing. We're going to go over and say hi to him. Thank you all. I will be back in 2 days on Thursday, 7 p.m. More of kind of the same stuff like this. Anyhow, take care, Rod. We will catch you later, man. And let's do this. Hey, if there's anybody out there who buys dad stuff, feel free to shop my dad's store. I do have a Discord. Feel free to join. If you put stuff in the gallery, we share it on Saturdays. Um, yes, and then we have the raid calls. If you can join the raid, that would be cool. If you're not a subscriber, you get to use that. If you are a subscriber, you get to use the sub raid. I'm going to do that one. Let's do this /raid. I can actually spell Tarpoff. How about that? A username I can spell. There we go. Let's go over and say hi to our friend Tarpoff. Hey, I hope you all have a good, or have been having a good National Cheesesteak Day. And for those of you on the rest of the planet, take care. Hasta la vista, baby.